You are now tuned into Difficult People Chronicles. I'm Seriously Focused Johnny, SF Johnny, and today is a Q&A. It's called Tough Love. Seriously Focused Johnny, I have four siblings. My younger sister, baby sister, is on her second marriage and has three kids. My parents are up in age and at times needs us to chip in, physical and financial. My other siblings and I do the bulk of the work. My younger sister, she gets paid very well. She claims, though, she never has anything to give. But when she borrows money from our parents, it's always wants and not needs. Now she is looking for a house and wants my parents to furnish it. This house she's looking for is a vacation home. She does not have a regular house like a residence. She lives in an apartment, but she claims she's looking for a vacation home. What can we do to prevent my parents from being in a financial bind due to my younger sister always borrowing money? It is like they are afraid to say no. Okay, so what I'm seeing now, which literally seeing, where I might even do a Fall from Grace Part 2. I see grown kids, yeah, 50, no, sorry, 40s, 50s, 60s, still borrowing from their parents, like money. And they're being selfish. It's one thing when you go to your parents and ask them for money, and their parents give to you or whatever. But it's another thing when a person goes to their parents and asks for money and they know that their parents is in a bad shape and they want this money for foolishness. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm trying to say. A woman who, and I say woman because this is literally an example that has happened where this woman went to her parents, no, not parents, parent. So she went to her mother for money to buy a house. And she literally has no job. Yeah, she has no job. But in her head, it's like, oh, I'm going to get a job next week. You know, she's not applying. In her head, she wants to sue the whole world for whatever. She plays lotto. But she wants her mother to give her this money so she could go buy this house. And her mother is struggling with her own issues. But she doesn't care because it's all about her. And she's doing these things to try to get this particular guy, which is crazy. She feels that if she looks like the independent woman, he will find her attractive. So, yeah. What happens is you don't know what is going on behind the scenes because your younger sister could go up to your parents, and literally badger them, hound them, harass them 24/7. That what happens, your parents turn around and say fine and just gives it to your sister. One of the things I did when my mother got sick some time ago, my grandmother told me basically to go to the lawyer and, just have him put together things for my mother to protect my mother. Because when my mother was sick, I saw people coming out the woodwork. And my mother only has two kids. And people felt at the time that because I didn't have kids and I'm single and all this other stuff, they just felt entitled. They felt entitled. That's all I'm going to say. They just felt entitled. And these same people feel entitled in other people's lives to this day. So I went to my attorney and I let my attorney sit down with my mother. And he's good, So he basically explained to her everything. And that's probably what you're going to have to do. Because your parents are up in age and they probably don't do well with being harassed. The no's don't stick. And the go home and get away from me don't stick. So they need it to be enforced, where your sister, whatever she wants is on paper. No. Yes. Because what she's probably doing is finding the perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity, perfect time to go in front of your parents and just say whatever, and then she gets what she wants. And she wants to get a vacation home and she doesn't have a regular home, like she's renting, I guess, or whatever. That's crazy. hmm Yeah, you're gonna have to get some things enforced so that y'all can have more control. Because what happens is, if this is the way I see it, would your parents be in a financial bind providing your sister don't borrow all the time? And those are the things you got to think about. Then you got to think about, what if something bad happens, God forbid? You know, how is your parents going to be taken care of? You have to think about those things, because we living in a world that a lot of people ain't think about none of that. You got the guy who is in his 30s who feel like his parents should take care of him all his whole life, and now he's literally, it's a fact because I saw him like the other day, strung out on drugs. hmm But he blames everything on his parents. When he's not on drugs, he blames everything on his parents. It's crazy. When all they wanted him to do was do the basics, go to school, get a job, but he felt like certain jobs wasn't paying enough. hmm So he partied like a rock star. He partied so hard that he's on rock. hmm Yeah, or whatever's out there. So that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to get an attorney involved. And like I said before, there's the legal services of whatever area you live in. So if you live in Washington, see if there's the legal services of Washington, and you pay like a certain fee for consultation. This tough love is something that your parents is just gonna have to give your sister on paper. I love you, read the fine print. So that's it for today. Check out my store. Check me out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, click the notification. I'm trying to get the downloadable document probably out within the next week or two. I'm trying because, yeah, I've just been going through a lot, but I'm still trying to be productive in a lot of areas. And, yeah, for suggested topics, email me. Love me more and I love you more. Later.